Don't let this be you this weekend. If you're afraid your friends are going to find out that you don't know ball, watch this video and you will have at least one intelligent thing to say about each team competing at this weekend's MLQ championships. First up, Charlotte. They really like to attack either side hoop on offense. They're not great against press or physicality. So if they really keep pounding towards one hoop, you can point that out as something they like to do. And if they are having success, you should say the other team should start pressing them a little bit higher. Next up, Washington. They, opposite of Charlotte, are very good down low through contact. If they get the ball to somebody down low, they are likely going to score unless they get beat. However, they are susceptible to being pressured up high, especially by beaters, and are often forced to make bad passes. So if they're having success, you should say the other team should start pressing them higher with their beaters. Next up, Boston. They are at their best when they're playing quickly. Quite frankly, in the half court, they do not look too good. They often take 2 or 3 chances to score, but their beaters are so good that they usually get 2 or 3 chances to score. Next up, New York. Despite being the best seed in the Fast Break News power rankings, this team really struggles to score in the half court. Quite frankly, they are at their best on broken plays or fast breaks. Also, they have 2 players on their team named Josh Johnson and John Jackson. And I don't know if you know this, but those names sound similar, and you should tell that to your friends because they've never heard that before. Next up, Kansas. They are also bad at the half court. They're really looking for isolations. Also, this goal, kind of wild. Look at that goal. Just back and forth, and then they scored. Next up, New Orleans. They prefer a one or no pass offense. The team can struggle to catch at points. They're also probably going to keep things slow. Something that none of your friends have ever heard is that New Orleans doesn't have a deep roster. Next up, Austin. They pass a lot, but usually it's not for any purpose. They are also just looking for isolations or defensive mismatches off of these passes. So while they're passing around, you can just tell your friends, these passes aren't dangerous. They're just looking for that defensive mismatch, and you'll sound really cool when they score. Next up, San Antonio. Great ball movement from San Antonio. Of all the teams we've talked about so far, they have the best ball movement. They don't have the best shot selection, though. That might be their downfall this weekend, but they can also recover on broken plays like this. Look at that luck. That's pretty cool. Next up, Toronto. They really have no half court to speak of at all. Instead, they're going to be at their best on the fast break. Also, Canadians, really physical. They like to hit people. Watch for that on defense. Minneapolis. They have a very patient offense, similar to Austin. They're really likely not a threat, though, except on a drive or drive-in dish play. They aren't looking for the defensive mismatch so much as just open space to drive, rip a pass, rip a shot. That's a good goal for Minneapolis. Detroit, they are best at pace. They are probably, apart from San Antonio, the best team out here at making passes on the run. And they are going to want to keep the speed high in as much as possible. And finally, Chicago. They might be the best passing team in the league, but they often pass to stagnant players or make their passes that are just really too far. We're about to watch the longest possession in this video, and it's really just Chicago passing around in non-dangerous areas. They really want to be running on their team, so when you see Chicago in the later brackets on day 2, you really want to point out to your friends that maybe the other team should slow everything down because Chicago really isn't comfortable playing in a half court. And if you can make all the possessions last 1 minute, it's probably going to be an in-range game at 20. Well, that's all I have for you. If you think I was wrong on most or any of those topics, leave a comment down below. For everybody else, don't forget to go read those comments. So if anything I said was stupid, you'll find out before you tell your friends, and then you won't tell them and be embarrassed.